Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, right now I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers, also for people who just find themselves on my video with no Pisces anything. Um, you're probably an empath and your soul is trying to give you some messages. Okay. So let's get started. I asked the energies, like, what is this reading going to be about? And I hear that intense feeling is growing. I don't know what the intense feeling is. I don't know what or where it's coming from. I just know there's a reference to something being intense. Let's find out what this is. It's just a weird feeling today. I don't know what the feeling is though. Okay. So let's get started. Pisces, I'm getting this message of we are rounding out our season and it's time to end on a good note. Don't we have a few more weeks? Wait, what is today? Are we February? March 2nd. It's my girlfriend's birthday. All right. She doesn't watch my videos though. I gotta message her. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're doing 5 today. Okay. Let me get the other cards. Pisces, that intensity is rising. It's increasing. What is that about? Do you guys feel that? What is that about? It's some weird ass energy. All of the cards are being pulled upside down. Yeah, no, I don't want to see the cards, so I don't freak out in advance. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Okay, here goes. We have the 3. Okay. We have these 3. All right. So first card. 8 of Summer, the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on, choosing to make major life changes. Is it time for you to make a major life change? Have you become stagnant within your life? These are questions you need to begin asking yourself because unless you go ahead and identify the places that need your adjustment, that need your attention, um, how are you really going to continue? This feeling of dissatisfaction, this feeling of it's almost like emptiness. I don't know why I describe it as an emptiness. Like something's missing. A component is missing. It's just like a really dissatisfying feeling. If you're feeling these things, do you know where it's coming from? Do you know what's causing you to feel this way? Because, I mean, if we don't find out the answers to this, how do you continue on? How do you continue on without becoming bitter, without becoming jaded, without becoming like just a hollow, emptied out version of yourself? You know, if we're going to be the ones who are going to bring about change, we need to begin that process of change, transmutation, transformation within ourselves. We have to be the ones to start it. So, part number 7, legacy of light. You come from a legacy of light. It's time for you to go from that inner child to that adult. Okay. Because that place of the adult, you can begin exploring that elder soul. So it's kind of time for that. It's kind of time for us to allow ourselves to travel beyond what we've allowed ourselves to see within ourselves. Um, see. Hunger. Card number 29, hunger. When you're hungry, I don't know about you guys, but the way my metabolism works, um, when I'm hungry, I only have a few minutes to eat. Like, if I don't eat pretty much as soon as I figure out I'm hungry, um, I become really, really frantic. That's if I'm eating stuff I'm not supposed to. I get I get very like hypoglycemic and I become frantic. And with that, it doesn't even matter what I eat, like the quality of the food, what it is. I just need to get something down. It needs to have some sugar. It needs to pick me up. And what usually ends up happening if I do that, if I allow myself to enter a cycle like that, it's going to be nonstop binge and drop in sugar, binge, drop in sugar. So instead of allowing yourself to get so hungry for connection, so hungry for like feeling as though someone understands, why don't you begin that process within yourself already? Why don't you go through whatever you need to go through in order to recognize that you can understand yourself, that maybe the kind of love you're seeking from someone else, from something outside of you, you're capable of giving to yourself. Because how often do we love people in such an elevated way and we hope that they'll love us that way too. And when they don't, what happens? We start this whole wondering if why am I not enough? Why don't they love me that way? You're looking for someone to love you in the way that you love them. Well, I do this for them, I do that for them, and they never do these things for me. Did they ask you to do these things for you? I mean, did they ask you to do these things for them? Or are you trying to show them without telling them that you're showing them what you want from them, the ways in which you want to be loved? And if that's the case, I mean, if you can do it for them, why can't you do it for yourself? Why are you unwilling? It's not that you can't, it's that you're unwilling to do this for yourself. Why is that? Is there is there a possibility that there is some part of you that feels as though if you do this for yourself, you're going to be seen as selfish. You're going to be seen as um, full of yourself and all these other like stigmatized concepts. The fact is, you can take better care of yourself than anyone else can. And if you're choosing not to, is that someone else's fault? And now you're left feeling like you're just so dissatisfied with life. You feel as though nothing good ever happens for you or to you. It's for everyone else. How come nothing? I have bad luck. I don't even believe in luck. I believe that we create what that's just going to have to be like that. I believe that we create um, a very unrealistic, unfair expectation for ourselves, and then we disappoint ourselves, and it's not that you're being silly or any of that. It's that you can't expect you from someone else. You just can't. You can't expect someone else to cater to you the way you cater to the world. That's a very difficult thing to find. I mean, think about it. If you can't even do it for yourself, how could you possibly expect someone to do it for you? And it's not to say that there are not people that exist that are capable of this, but how could you ever expect someone to do that for you? If I can't understand myself, if I can't understand my needs, how can I expect someone else to understand it? I mean, unless they've gone through it and it's really part of their soul's purpose to help me understand it, the probability of finding someone like this is very, very like slim to none. Slim to none. And we have to just be okay with the fact that we have to do this work for ourselves. We have to do this process. It's not even really work, really. Do you feel like it's work loving someone? Do you feel like, oh my God, it's such a burden for me to do like all of these sweet things for someone? Because really, it's not. It's not. As Pisceans and empaths, we have a tendency to really, really get off on loving people. It's true. It's so true. We have this tendency to really, really enjoy spoiling other people. It feels good to us that they feel good, especially if you're an empath. The more sensitive the empath, the more pleasure you get out of pleasing other people. Why? Because you can feel it. So back when I was a makeup artist, I was a really, really good makeup artist back then because why? Because first, I can see the truth of how beautiful you actually are. Behind all the insecurities, behind the facial expressions that have caused all sorts of havoc on your face, um, I can see beyond that. See, you stop at the surface. You see all these ways in which, oh, I've aged. Oh, my skin is not nice. Oh, this, oh, that. Oh, no, I see beyond that. I bring that out of you. And why am I good at that? Because it feels fucking good. It does. When a client sees for the first time what I have been seeing in them even before I ever touch their face, oh my God, that's an amazing feeling. It's a seriously amazing feeling. Very same reason why I hated doing weddings. I'm like, I'm not doing no wedding because I feel the bride's stress. Everything has to be for perfect for everyone else, not for me, but for everyone else. It's my day, yet I'm doing everything to, make sure all my guests enjoy themselves, regardless of how stressed out I feel. As a bride, that's what I feel from them. That's what I feel. I don't like that. If you're an empath, you like to be around things that make you feel good. It makes you feel good to make other people feel good. When someone else hurts, you want to fix it. Why? Because you feel their pain. Pisceans do this all the time, because you're highly empathic. That's how you're born. That's why you're born Piscean. And that's why people often have this assumption that you're weak in some way. No, I just feel deeply. That actually is an indicator of how elevated my abilities are. When you can feel on a much deeper level, much higher plane of existence, um, that means you're developing. That means you're progressing. Okay, card number 19. Card number 19, Libra, I balance. All my life, my heart has yearned for a thing I cannot name. Don't go it alone. Linking up with a partner will serve you best. So let's see. Libras are known for changing their minds and opinions. What is true one day may not be the next. Maybe we have to pull in that Libran energy, that Libran tendency to be able to change your mind so easily, so flexible, being able to swing from one side to the other with grace and compassion for self. This process that you're in requires the most elevated levels of compassion, patience, and grace that you can muster. Listen, you're able to do this for everyone else. You sure as hell better do it for yourself. No more excuses. No more excuses. We have this habit of like, oh, I'll do that for me later. I just got to do this really quick first. Oh, that person too, they need something. I got to help them really quick first. It's never really quick. When was the last time you helped someone and it was really quick? When was that? It always starts off as really quick, and then we look for other ways in which to complicate, amplify, all of the that's just what we do. That's what we do. Oh, can you help me reach that jar up there? Okay, I'll reach that jar really quick. Oh, wait, but all of your food is not organized. Let's go ahead and let's. let's fix all the cans. Let's stack them and organize them. Make sure all the labels are facing the front. Oh, I see dishes now. Oh, let me do the dishes too. That's what we do. That's what we do. Oh, you must be so hungry because you were trying so hard to reach that can. Now that your cans are organized and you have your can, let me wash your dishes so you have something nice to eat on. Well, let me also cook that for you. Yeah, we do that a lot. So let's see. Okay, when this card comes up in a reading, it indicates you're riding the fence over something and need to make a decision soon. That's a very, very intense theme that has been going on for at least the past week. The past week, you need to make a decision. What are you going to decide? There's no more like, well, we'll just see what happens. Well, if we'll just leave it open if they choose to, if they no, no, you have to decide something. I don't know what it is you have to decide, but there's a decision you're refusing to make. And that is further complicating whatever this part of your journey is. Let's see. If you don't make your decision, it will be made for you. The potential for you not liking the ending is high if you don't act and decide soon. So this is something you have to decide very, very soon, or else someone or something will decide for you. I don't like the sound of that. Let's see. Okay. This is a favorable card for romance and relationships. It indicates a time where relationships are turning happier and more content. Everything must be fair and balanced. It's important not to sacrifice your own feelings or desires simply because you hope to avoid a conflict. When are we going to learn this, Pisces? When are we going to learn this? When are we going to learn that every time we quiet ourselves down and not express our actual true need, it creates much more conflict? My mom was a Piscean. She's a Piscean, and it used to drive me crazy that she would like deny, deny, deny. And then when I'm finally like, okay, I'm not offering anymore, that's when she'd be like, okay, yeah, can I? Didn't I ask you how many times? Like, one year we were gonna go to Hawaii. My husband's family is in Hawaii, and I had asked her, "Do you want to come?" Because the tickets were really super cheap, but we needed to tell my mother-in-law like ASAP because there's limited amount of tickets. Kept saying no, kept saying no. Like less than a week before it's time to leave. Okay, yeah, I'll go. There's no fucking tickets left. Oh, well, you should have just got one for me. Now when you're telling me no, why would I buy you a ticket and you're telling me you don't want to go? Why do we do that? Why do like because we don't want to be a bother, we don't want to be a burden, but in reality it creates more bother and burden when we continuously wait until 5 seconds past the last second. Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I'm asking you, do you want me to make you something? Do you want me to make you something? Are you hungry? And as soon as I put all the dishes away, oh, yeah, can you make me something? No, not now. Not now. I mean, I still do make something, but it's irritating because everything becomes more complicated. Like, why couldn't you have just said yes while I was still in the middle of it? So, this card represents an impending marriage or engagement. Relationships are about to move up a level to a more serious one. Feelings have matured. Feelings have matured. Wow. Happiness is achieved when you pool your resources with a significant other. Achievement will be found when you find the right person who mirrors your ideals and beliefs. Sorry. It's time to wake up. I've been awake. Hold on. There's just a lot of like conflicting feelings. A lot of conflicting feelings that I don't know what it is. There's just this I don't know if it's you or someone that you're dealing with, maybe the person in question. It like creates a lot of tension in the chest. And it create like, I don't know, there's just so much tension. Like the sentence feelings have matured. Um it's almost this sense of like this has been something that's been going on for quite some time, and now you've gotten to the point where you're understanding, and maybe you decided things at one point that are no longer in alignment with the person you know yourself to be now. Maybe this is something along the lines of, I almost want to say, regretting a decision that you made, where you recognize, I should have chosen differently. I don't know that it has to do with another individual. I think that that'll be very, very unique to you, like whether it has to do with another individual or it has to do with a decision, just a life decision. Um, so, okay, the sense that I get, like, are you willing to miss out again? Something's looping back around. An opportunity, a circumstance, whatever it is, something is looping back around. And if you're going to try and deny what you want and what you need, um, I don't know. This might be the last time you get an opportunity to make this decision. I don't know that it's going to circle back around like another time. So before it actually arrives, this circumstance or whatever it is, before it actually arrives, you need to make a decision. You really need to make a decision. You have to choose what you really want, because once you decide this, um, this is, I think, is going to be for life. I think it's going to be for life, where either you're going to really truly cherish your decision and it's going to give you a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, or you're going to regret this for the rest of your life. I don't know if it has to do with a decision made on Pisces empaths side, or if it's someone else. Someone else made a decision, they regret that decision. I don't know. It's very unique to you, okay? So, let's see. 10 of summer, an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. This is what's coming back around. It could be with that reference to family, it could be soul family. It could be someone who um the frequency is making me nauseous. It's such an uptick in energy, in frequency. And it's almost like this, God, why can't you feel me? Why can't you hear me? Um, and these are things that are kind of, why can't you hear me? I know you can hear me. I know, why do you ignore what I'm trying to express to you? I don't know if this is your higher self or someone else saying this. Um, it's like so much frustration. Mm. Card number 32, faith in the process. Whatever process you're in, you've been in it for quite some time. You have been in it for quite some time. The only reason you are worn out is because you keep stomping your feet in place instead of allowing that movement to push you forward, to propel you towards whatever it is you need to go towards. You've just been marching in place, marching, 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 marching. Yeah, no, it looks cool on video, but it's really not cool for your spiritual journey. It's something that will create so much frustration. What is that? Someone's just so frustrated. Hold on. Let's see. Let's ask Bish. Bish, is this feeling regarding the collective whole? Yes. Is a frustration our higher selves? No. Is this circumstance individual for each person? Yes. Does it affect the collective whole? Yes. Well, what the fuck is this? I don't know what it is. Um, I think I know what it is. I don't know. Shit. I'm not even going to play. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Card number 9. What do you feel? Is what you're feeling yours or someone else's? Is it yours or is it someone else's? Are you so busy trying to work on yourself? So it's this sense of like we're telling ourselves that we're working on ourselves, but we're really making no progress. That's concerning. That is very concerning. To work on yourself, yet make no progress despite how much effort you're putting into this process. That's scary. That is because what am I doing wrong? That's the sense that I get. Like, what are we doing wrong? Well, we're not really working on ourselves. We're working on the version of ourselves that other people have told us is us. That's not you. You're working on an identity that does not belong to you. That's hard. When people try and tell me that I'm the villain, and I try and identify with that, and I try and work on it, I make no progress. It makes me just so frustrated because I know I'm not a villain. I know I'm not a villain. I know that if I say or do something hurtful, it's because you've really pushed me that far. So how do I work on that? What do I work on? Because I've already done this for so many years where it's like, um, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Why does this keep happening? This type of like bullshit ass circumstance. What is this? And I've had so many people say, well, you're doing it. You're the common denominator. No, I'm staying in my fucking lane. What I'm doing is not creating the situation. I'm enabling it by staying quiet. I'm enabling it by trying to love on people who don't really need my love. Why do I do that? Because there's probably some part of me at that time that was wanting that kind of love from them. There was some unspoken thing going on within me that was like, well, if I support you like this, maybe you'll support me like this too. Maybe if I show you the ways in which I want to be supported and loved, you'll just copy it. And what ends up happening is this boundary becomes so blurred, becomes so blurred that for my personal circumstance, it always ends up with a person wanting to be an Emmie, which irks the shit out of me at this point. Y'all, if you want to be an Emmie, every single person that I've come across that wants to be an Emmie has been severely breached. Full on possession. Nothing I'm doing has more to do with trying to fill a role that you really are not capable of filling. Has to do with this insecurity and refusal to accept the self. It's like, no, I'm serious. It's full on possess. I'm like, what the how the fuck did this person get fucking possessed? Oh, oh, they were trying to be an Emmy. Mm. Probably wouldn't have happened if you just accepted yourself as you are and worked on yourself, your acceptance of self. Yeah, that would have prevented all of that. So what ends up happening? That, and then it doesn't take much for the wanting to be an Emmy thing to turn into, if we just get rid of her, you can't do that. You just can't. You can't do that. That's not allowed. I mean, if we look at society, say I wanted to be Universal D and I just put him in a sack and tossed him into the ocean. Is there no consequence to that? Is there no consequence? There is a fucking consequence to that. You're gonna get in big ass trouble. We cannot put Universal D into a sack and toss him into the ocean. Major consequences for that. Major. Major. So I think we're always related to what's going on in our lives, but just because we're the common denominator doesn't mean we're automatically wrong or at fault. Yep. 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 I noticed in the things that I lived through, I was the common denominator because I was the one that was allowing people to be abusive of me, my support, my unconditional love. I'm really, really learning. Unconditional love is not how society defines it. Unconditional love means I can call you out on your shit. I can really allow myself to peepers wide open, seeing what you're doing, the way you're behaving, how malicious your passive aggressiveness is, calling you out on that and still being able to be present. That's unconditional love. Not present for you to keep doing that to me, but present to hold space like, hey, you need me to help you with this? Because you're pretty fucked up in the head right now. Okay, okay, I'll stop. I'm just saying that's unconditional love to me, where I can do that with you, not for you, but with you. Where I can be like, look, you're fucking up right now. I'm gonna give you a second. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. Gather your shit together. What's really going on? Because I feel like you're doing really malicious, intentionally malicious shit. I feel like your energy is very disrespectful right now. Like, what is going on? Do we need to talk about something? Is there something we need to straighten out, or do we just need to part ways? Because this is me showing you love right now. So what is it? And I think maybe if I had allowed myself to recognize what I was doing, where I was enabling other people's attempt to emulate, and then I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do. I can't even begin to assume. Um, I just know at the end of it, there was a very real, like, well, if we just get rid of her, you know? I mean, she says I'm powerful like her. I don't know. I don't know. Let's go to the next card. Card number. Card number 10, Neptune, sacrifice. The whole idea of compassion is based on a keen awareness of the interdependence of all these living beings, which are all part of one another and all involved in one another. So, interdependence, not codependency. Interdependence is that we are able to each play our own part. We're able to each hold our own weight and, be a productive part, be a productive part of the whole. Now, codependency is not healthy. It's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. Whether you are allowing this to be established and maintained because you have a need to be needed, or you just don't recognize, maybe you just don't recognize what's going on. We need to enter into a place of recognition of whether we are being codependent or interdependent. Okay. You're being directed into an area which may feel like it's an unknowable. Surrendering to the mystery may work best now. Let's see. Refusing to look at what's real or simply being unable to, as well as seeing enemies as friends and vice versa, are all traits brought on by this watery planet. This is a time where some may try to manipulate with their crisis and rescue cycles. As empaths and Pisceans, you have to be very, very careful of this. You have to be very, very careful of this. Does this individual always consistently have problems? Do they consistently have drama with someone else? Do they consistently fail to realize um, how they're contributing to this? Are they consistently coming to you just to unload their problems? Don't mistake that as like, oh, I'm helping them. They feel better after they talk to me. I'm a healer. Well, actually, you're not. If they keep having the problem, you're not healing anything. You're just sipping from the same cup of poison they are. And in that case, that doesn't heal anything. Now both of you are poisoned. It's said that the people you keep in your environment, the 5 or 6 people, something like that, that you hang around with the most, they're the ones who you become. So when you're hanging around someone like this constantly, what's happening there? There's such a massive exchange of energy, unbalanced, unfair, unrecognized exchange of energy that is pulling in their toxicity, and you're taking ownership of that. You're becoming the very thing they are. Is that what you want? And you might not realize that this is happening. You might think that you're really truly helping, healing someone. In reality, are you? Or is their toxicity simply feeding your own? Ooh. Trauma bond, where the both of you are experiencing certain types of traumas, and that's what you're using as a basis for bonding. That never works long term. It's not a feasible connection. The moment one of you begins to heal beyond the trauma that bonded the two of you, the other one will drag you back in. And if they refuse to heal, you're not getting past anything. They're going to keep you in that cycle. They're going to continue to perpetuate that. Trauma bonds are not real bonds. They're not. So let's see. There may be a lack of boundaries and confusion where some may orchestrate their victimhood. Be very certain that the victim is not you. Let's see. This card indicates poetry, music, art, and psychic mediumship, but also nebulous thinking. When it shows up in a reading, any words spoken or promises given are either poetry from the gods in higher realms or words which may be lies. Mhm. With this card, it indicates it will be difficult to get to the bottom of the issue. You may see smoke and mirrors, find yourself engulfed in nefarious mist with blame cast on the wrong person or reason. With this card, you want to be absolutely clear and out front with everything. Neptune is a planet of sacrifice, so you may be asked to sacrifice something, usually related to ego for some greater good. All right. So this is the Pisces card. Neptune represents our link to all and governs the last sign of the zodiac. Pisces is connected to everything past, present, and future. Neptune shows where we are vulnerable and also where we want to escape to. Um, you may be caught in a situation which is unclear. The reasons behind it may not make sense or are being withheld from you. So, okay, this is like really indicating to me that we are continuing yet again these cycles. I need to help them. Are you helping or are you enabling? But I love them. Okay, is your love helping to heal or enabling? Is this love or is this a form of trauma bonding and codependency? Because they go hand in hand. I need them. Do you? I mean, I like people in my life, certain people. I really, really love their presence in my life. It really helps me to understand things. It helps me to feel not so alone, not so misunderstood. It helps me to feel more comfortable in my own skin. But do I need them? No. They're in my life because we choose to be in each other's lives, because we enjoy each other, not because there's a need. When you're there because there's a need, that is a codependency. So I'm getting this like sense of part of this reading has to do with someone who believes they need you. Maybe they're not currently in your life. Maybe something happened and maybe that's what ties into the beginning of this reading, where it's talking about like someone feels like they made a mistake and it was unclear like who exactly is this? Is this you? Is this someone else? Someone feels like they made a mistake. They decided the wrong option. They chose the wrong option. They're trying to go back on that decision. I think it's because they feel like they need or you need them. Do you? Or is it just your perception? Have you tied up your healing process into this person? Have you courted into them? Have they courted into you? Some chords exist and they're supposed to exist. The chords between parent and child, the chords between the higher connection of souls, those are meant to exist. Those you can't do anything about. When Palladorian contracts are signed, you can't unsign that. That's signed on a soul level. Now, the lesser contracts, like the handshake type contracts, you can possibly renegotiate that. But Palladorian contracts, you're not renegotiating anything. That's an ironclad contract. You're not, because some people are like, oh, you can just undo the contract. Yeah. Palladorian contracts are like mortgages. Can you go to the bank and be like, I don't like those terms. We're going to have to renegotiate that. The bank's going to be like, you're funny. No, no. You needed to read the fine print before you signed. Oh, but I didn't know. Uh, Not our fault. That's how soul is. Well, not that, you need to read the fine print, not our fault thing, but that's how soul is, where Palladorian contracts, you can't undo that. So I'm wondering if this reading is tying into Palladorian contracts that are kind of being activated, being called into reunification, where the components of the contract are being called into active duty. You have to grow whatever parts of you that need to be grown, and there's a merger that occurs. And then when that merger occurs, you get these other components that support your components, and then it's a very well-oiled, precise, functional machine. It's a very precise thing. I don't know how else to put it. How else would I put that? Card number 25, resistance. Even if you resist your growth, even if you try and hold on to your life as it is right now, that growth will occur. It will find ways to escape that clenched fist. It will still happen. Now, some people think like, you can completely choose the details of your life. If you don't like this, if you don't like that, who gives a damn if it's what you need as a soul? Um, you can't you can't undo Palladorian contracts. You just can't. Um, there's so much energy. It's making me feel nauseous again. Four of Autumn, manage your resources wisely, achieve a balance in how you spend and save money, help out those who are less fortunate. Achieve a balance in how you spend and use your energy. Help out those who are less fortunate, not out of pity, but because it's the right thing to do. So, when it comes to energy and helping those who are less fortunate, this is about speaking and sharing your perceptions, your opinions, your experiences. When you do that, other people are being gifted an opportunity to learn something from your life experience, but you can't force them. That's the thing. You can't force them. You can simply share and free them to um, decide for themselves what they're going to do with this information. You can't force someone to grow. You can't force someone to evolve in their perception of themselves and their lives. It's their choice. What you can do is release your allegiance, your obligation to their toxicity. This includes every single type of connection. Be loyal to yourself first. Part of the reason why draconians have been so successful in really wreaking havoc on human lives is because they were so good at creating this really skewed, bastardized expression of twin flame, twin ray connection. And everyone just lapped it up. Everybody was just like, oh, yes, what? Someone's going to belong to me? They're going to have to always love me. They're going to have to always be present no matter how I behave. Oh, hell yeah. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. If you don't behave yourself, if you don't treat whoever this is to you with compassion, respect, consideration, they're not obligated to stick around. They're really not. That's just like this concept of, oh, we're married now. Now you can't ever leave. Oh, we have a child now. Now you can't ever leave. Oh, you best bet I can fucking leave. Yeah. Why are you planning to give me a reason to leave? That concept needs to be done away with because that's really what's causing a lot of suffering for a lot of people. This concept of you have to be um, devoted to something that's hurtful, harmful to you. No, you don't. You don't. You really don't. So, card number 40, water element, sensing. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Ooh. When you explain something to someone, when you share something about your life event, your life circumstance, like I feel like we can, I know we can work this out, but I feel like it's done. Which one do you listen to? The logic or the feeling? Because I mean, I can use my logic to get myself into all sorts of bullshit. I have, it's usually the logic. The logic is what gets me into all sorts of really fucked off circumstance. Why is that? Because logically, no matter what you do, I can find a way around it. I'll figure out a way around it. That's one of my most developed skills. Figuring out a way around a blockage, around a circumstance. If I can't face you head on, if I can't do that for whatever reason, I'll find a way around you. If I can't find a way around you, I'll find a way over you, under you. If I can't do that, well, then fuck that. I'm bulldozing through you. I will bulldoze right through you. What are we avoiding? What are we avoiding that we are allowing ourselves to participate in all sorts of like weird ass circumstance? Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. And we feel this too. We feel this. And then we tell ourselves, well, logically, no, they can't. They won't. Logically, they haven't shown me this. They haven't shown me that they're capable of this type of um, behavior. Every time I've used my logic in that type of circumstance, every time I've had those thoughts that are logical, very solid in their logic, I've been screwed over. Mhm. I have. I absolutely have. By me. I screwed myself over. The last time this happened, not only did I feel that, not only did I have dreams of it, like flat out fucking dreams, and I knew what these dreams were telling me. And I was like, there's no way. No, they're not like that. They are so sweet. It's always the sweet people, y'all. It is always the sweet people that are the ones that fuck you over the worst. I'm at a point, I'm glad. Good. You're sweet. I don't give a shit. Something feels off. Hmm. You can go be sweet over there. Go over there, be sweet over there. I don't know. I really like you, but for some reason, something feels off, and I have to remind myself. Um, I have a tendency to really like demonic ass fucking people. I'm just drawn to them. I'm like, oh my God, you're such a good person. Oh no, I have to help you. I have to make you feel loved. And every single fucking time that I do that shit, oh hey demon horse. Oh, okay. That's why you felt familiar to me. We got to recognize our patterns. If this is stuff that you do, be honest with yourself. Being I mean, you don't even have to admit this to anyone else, okay? You don't. You don't have to admit this to anyone else. You can just silently recognize, ah, shit, I really like demonic people for some reason. I need to just now, like, okay, I really like you. Why is that? Why is that? I've noticed for me, the people who are very healthy for me, who are genuine in their appreciation and love of me, who really just want to be able to make me feel as loved as I somehow make them feel. I have a tendency to just kind of steer clear, just like, oh, I don't know why this makes me feel uncomfortable. Thank you for the love. I'm just gonna, you know, stand back just a little. I'll just keep you 5 arm lengths away. Um, it takes me a few years. It takes me a few years, and then I'm like, okay, they're still not shady. Maybe I'm being a little bit unreasonable in this. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So, water element sensing. This is it represents being connected to the flow of all things. It's also the ability to keep a secret or to work alone in privacy. So, work alone. First off, work alone. Work on yourself by yourself. Okay? You can allow other people's words to come in and be considered, but you have to work alone on this. Only you can grow yourself. If you think someone else is going to grow you, you're probably going to get breached. I have to be very like flat out with this at this point. Um yeah, the number of people who get breached, and it's a very serious type of breach, it's gone way the fuck up. Way the fuck up. Mhm. I don't want to keep being exposed to that. I really don't. I would love for everyone to just not have any demonic anything because your girl getting tired. I'm just getting real tired of that. So it's time for us to just work on ourselves, okay? And it's okay for you to keep quiet that you're working on yourself. Sometimes, um, when other people know you're working on yourself because they have their own demonic latchings, um, their demons will go after you. Sucks, but it's just something that I've observed for quite a few years. So sometimes just keep it to yourself, not out of fear, but out of this need for quiet, out of this need for avoiding unnecessary parasitic circumstance. Okay. Because, when you work on yourself, it creates instability at the very beginning. You become very unstable and very vulnerable. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but if you're not yet at a place where you understand yourself to a degree that you can work through that vulnerability, you will definitely be very easy to breach. Okay. So when this card comes out, you can trust what you feel as the best source, um, as the best course to follow. What you're sensing right now may not be based on any logic. It's just that what you are sensing is correct. Right now, it's best to go with the flow and depending upon the cards surrounding this, to trust that movement, although these changes may seem gentle and gradual. So, with that, this reading is really telling you work on yourself. Things will be allowed to come back to you, circumstance, energies that will really further your introspection. It will really further the way you are able to process your life, the way you see yourself. That's so important. The way you see yourself is a very important thing. If you can't see the truth of who you are, you will fall for everyone's lies. You know how narcissists really get in? They look for people who are so starved for love. You might appear to be very, very confident. You might appear as though you have your shit together, life is good. Narcissists can see past that. Narcissists are actually highly empathic, highly empathic. Now, that empathy has become distorted. The pathways that are used for empathy to then enter your field of awareness and for that to be used in a positive, growing manner, that's been flipped the fuck upside down, twisted around, and crimped or something. I don't know. Narcissists are hella highly empathic. So, what they do is they look for someone who has instability. And no matter how deeply that instability is, that insecurity, that lack of sense of self, they'll know it's there. They will know it's there. And they will provide you the very thing that you're craving, the very thing that you could provide yourself, but you refuse to. They will give that to you. They'll give that to you. They'll create a dependency. Now I need you to notice and compliment me. Because if you don't, oh my God, something's wrong with me. That presence, it actually increases your insecurity. It actually causes even more confusion within yourself about who you are, your integrity. And then what ends up happening? Once you are fully dependent, then the truth comes out. The truth of who they are comes out. And at that point, you have so far lost any sense of direction. You don't even know what the truth is anymore. You've taken in their lie that you are the problem. You are this, this, and this. You are the problem. How am I the problem? But you hit me because you made me mad. If you wouldn't do that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have to hit you. Like, what the fuck logic is that shit? Um, and all of this stems from you refusing to give yourself the very thing that you could give yourself and seeking it from other people. It's okay for you to see yourself as a work in progress. It's okay for you to recognize there are places within you that have cracked. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. There's this Japanese tradition that when the pottery cracks, um, they repair it with gold. They fill the crack with gold. And it's a very beautiful thing because um, each piece has its own unique characteristics, its own feel, its own identity. And the more cracks, the more valuable it becomes because it's being filled with gold. Why don't you see yourself like that? Where every time you crack, that's another place for the beauty of your light to exit. This light that you've been hiding away within yourself because, well, people won't understand. They definitely won't if you refuse to understand yourself. How would you ever expect someone to understand you if you can't even communicate who you are and what you need? If you can't communicate it, how will they know it? Even a regular person. Um, Narcissists will know it because, like I said, they're highly empathic. That's how they get you in. That's how they get into you. They provide you the very things that you're seeking without you having to say it. Why is that? Because they're exploiting it. Now, the cost for that um, temporary acknowledgement and honoring of your needs, the cost for that is so fucking out of hand. The price you pay for that gratification in the beginning. Yeah, 7 years it took you to figure, yeah. Narcissistic relationships have a tendency to last for years, years of your life gone. And then I find that people who are victimized by narcissists, I'm talking about clinical narcissists, not just like, oh, you didn't do what I like. You didn't say what I wanted. You're a narcissist. No, I'm talking about clinical narcissism. a lot of the people that are in narcissistic relationships who are being abused by narcissists, they end up telling themselves, but I've already spent 10 years with them. We've invested so much. No, you've been abused for 10 years. You didn't invest anything. They didn't invest anything in this. They've just been abusing you for this long. And it's a very cut and dry statement I'm about to make. Okay. If you want to choose to continue to spend several more years being abused, that's all that's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. This is who they are. You do not heal a narcissist because you are the problem, and you will never convince them that they are the root of it. Ever. Ever. This is what determines whether they are a narcissist or not. If they can be changed, they have narcissistic tendencies. They are not narcissists. A clinical narcissist, you will never change them because you are the problem. You are the one creating problem. You are being dramatic. You are lying about it. Like, no, I'm pretty sure you abused me. I'm pretty sure of it. There's no lie to that. There's no exaggerating to that. It is what it is. So these people are who they are. And if you spent 10 years, that's a 10-year lesson. You were worth that. It took you 10 years to remember your worth, your dignity, what you deserve. It took you 10 years. You were worth that. You're worth that 10-year investment. Now, if you're saying I've been with them for 10 years, that was just a waste. We have to work okay. Okay. Uh However many more years you're going to stay, it's going to still be the same. It is going to still be the same. And every single time you try and move on, they're going to reel you back in. Mhm. They can't stand the fact that you're making a decision for yourself. You don't get to be happy unless I give you permission to be happy. Mhm. If that's what you want, I'm not going to condemn you for it. But just know that's what you're choosing. Okay? That's what you're choosing. So this is about getting everything out into the open. This reading is all about, like, what do you need? What do you really need from these connections that you have? Are your needs being met? Are these needs really things that you need someone else to fulfill? Or can you give these things to yourself? Can you give it to yourself? Because if you can, why are you investing so much in someone else, hoping they'll give it to you? You can just be investing in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, you grow yourself. It's just like the concept of you're starting out your business. Let me go ahead and promote that business because hopefully that business, once they get big, they'll promote mine. The likelihood of that, slim to none. Slim to none. Promise you. Slim to none. Unless you're dealing with someone who has such high integrity, who really will honor that and will be grateful to you. Most of the time, when you help someone start their business, unless you're an actual investor and have a stake in that company, they won't be able to recognize how much you did for them. Most of the time, they'll be like, I did this. Okay, good. But just know that that's how they're going to feel because they should take ownership of their business. They should be proud of where their business has gone. And not all business owners will remember that you're the one that got them there. And it's okay. It's okay because you should never invest in someone more than you're investing in yourself. I just learned that over and over and over. Never invest in someone more than you are investing in yourself because it's not their job to repay something you freely gave. If it was a business deal, if you have an agreement, that's one thing. But when you are giving without them agreeing to repaying, without them agreeing to reciprocate, just like with a relationship. Oh, but I gave you so many gifts. Like, how could you leave me? I didn't ask you for those gifts. Did you ask them for those gifts? So, were they gifts or were they prepayment? See where the problem is? Are you prepaying for something that they have no idea you're prepaying for? Because if that's the case, you're getting yourself into a very sticky situation. Card number 37, fruition. Allow your dreams, your goals to come into fruition by way of your own manifestation. Do not put it on someone else to manifest for you the life and circumstance that you want and need. That is not their job. Even even my husband, it is not his job to do all of this for me so that I don't have to do anything. That is an absolute bullshit logic. I'm sorry. Yeah. We each play our role in this partnership. If he's going to work, I'm the one that's going to stay and take care of all of our children's needs. If I'm going to work, he's the one that takes care of all the children's needs. There's a balanced partnership. I cannot count on him to keep me mentally stable. If I don't have it within myself, how can I expect him to? When I over deplete myself, giving too much of me and my energy away, what is left for me? And then I'm going to suction it off of him. That's not love. That's not how partnerships work. Partners put in equal work, or else they're not partners. So you have to take ownership of your life, of your decisions. You cannot allow another cycle to come forward and, like, oh, this and oh, that. Like, no, you made your decisions. This is the last time this cycle is coming forward, is the feeling that I'm getting. Whatever you decide, for whatever this cycle is, whoever's involved, it's going to stick. If you decide to allow abuse to continue, it's going to stick. If you are going to choose to reject the very things, circumstance, and people who can get you into a healthier place by their presence, through inspiring you, encouraging you, empowering you, so that you can do the work on your own. If you're going to reject that in this cycle, that's going to stick. There's going to be a high likelihood that you're going to be stuck in this type of cycle for the rest of your life. I don't know what's up with this like period. Um, it seems like things are being reopened so that karmic load can be addressed. So certain periods of creation, um, these partitions that have kept the karmic load somewhat separate from your conscious mind, every once in a while, that will be dissolved. That partition will be dissolved. All of these karmic connections, um, unfinished, unresolved karmic uh, karma is going to be allowed to come forward. And it's at that point you're going to choose to work on it or not. And this doesn't happen very often. It really just doesn't. I've been saying for some time now, I really feel like this is the life. All of us are being given the option to work on karmic connections, to balance them out and create harmony within our lives. And when I say balance them out, I'm not talking about, okay, now you have to agree to be my in a relationship with me, or else it's not going to work. That karma doesn't get balanced. I don't fucking think so. This is the life where you decide for yourself what type of connection you'll have with these people, with these energies. And once you decide, I mean, you better be careful what you decide, because once you decide, it's probably going to stick. Um, I got for at least 30 to 50 years. I don't know that I got 30. Yeah, for at least 30 to 50 years. So card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. Uh-huh. Beyond what you think to be reality is the truth of the energetic situation. You need to get to the heart of it. Okay. If you address the heart of the circumstance, the heart of the circumstance will not continue to pump toxicity through your entire system. You have to allow yourself to quiet yourself down. Close your eyes and let your third eye see. Really, truly see. Use your intuition to see what is truly going on. What is at the core of the words that are either spoken or left unsaid? See that x ray of the jaw? Like, what is it? What needs to be communicated through energy or words? What is it? Are you in a hermit phase simply because you're avoiding working through this? Are you um, are you unsure of how to proceed? Because sometimes it's not necessarily for lack of willingness to work on yourself. Sometimes it's just scary. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't know which direction to go. I just kind of need a little bit of guidance. You can get that. You can absolutely get the guidance that you need. Now, will you be willing to accept that guidance? Because oftentimes that guidance will take you far away from what your expectation is. And then that's when things really pop off. Higher self, I want guidance. Okay, well, you're going to have to make a left right here. But I wanted to make a right. Then why the fuck you ask me for guidance? I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things. Okay. It's one of those things where you're going to ask for guidance and then you're going to tell your soul, uh, no, no, I shouldn't make a left right here. No, I should make a right 50 miles down the road. Okay, well go ahead and deal with it. What happens 50 miles down the road? You're going to be the one that deals with that, okay? That's not like some sort of threat. That's just an utterance of truth. Only you will be the one dealing with the collateral damage of you not listening to the guidance of your soul. I'm not talking about listening to me, because what the fuck do I know? I don't know shit about your life. I'm no expert of your life. Your soul is. It's been there from the moment you were born. Actually, if we're going to be really accurate here, it's been there through all of your lives, every single last one. It's an expert of you for sure. It knows you in and out. So, why would you ever listen to something outside of that soul? Well, because that something outside of the soul says what I want to hear. That's why a lot of people get irritated with my readings. I don't say what they want to hear. You want to hear me saying like, "Yes, chase after your twin flame. They are your destiny." Fuck that shit. I'm not chasing nobody. I have some badass knees. I'm going to sit right here and work on myself. I am my own fucking destiny, not someone outside of me. I am my own destiny. Everyone outside of me helps to cultivate that, helps to cultivate the way I see myself. I don't need someone outside of me. I was made whole. I live this life as a whole, complete being. And the people who cross my path are some level of reflection of me. Some will have a higher, um, a more potent reflection. Others won't. And that's okay. Because really, all they're doing, their purpose in my life is to show me parts of myself that I'm kind of still too scared to see. So recognize that about your connections, okay? Allow yourself to grow from this. Whatever you decide, decide what is best for you, not for other people. Get to know yourself before you decide. Cultivate a relationship between self and soul so that you can get better guidance as to what the truth of this situation is and what is the best options that you can select from. Your soul is willing to allow you to decide this. It's not attempting to shot call everything. The whole purpose of this life is to exercise your sovereign right to choose and to experience. Soul is not trying to shot call anything. But when you get so far off track, it's going to pick your ass up and put you back on your path. It's just one of them things. It's just one of them things. So, you guys, I'm pretty sure I'm done with the reading. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm done. I hope that whoever needed to hear whatever needed to be heard, I hope you were able to get your confirmation, whatever that is. I sit here in support of you and your growth, not your toxicity. All of us have some degree of toxicity. It's time for us to clean out the wounds that allow for the toxicity to continue. Yeah, it's time. No one else can do this for you. No one else is an expert of you. Take your rightful place as an expert in your life. There will be people who you will come across who will help you to better understand through their own existence. There will be people who will challenge you into ripening your acceptance and knowing of yourself. All of that is okay. You will get through everything in your life if you allow yourself. When you cling to the very things that hurt you, that disrespect your soul, you can't blame anyone but yourself. You really, really can't. Oh, but he won't let me leave. Uh, you don't need his permission. I mean, I don't know if maybe you exist in a country where you need their permission to leave, but I would leave that country. Absolutely. I come from a very patriarchal culture. Fuck that shit. You can patriarch your own ass. No, I'm not listening to shit. I'm going to decide for myself. If my life is going to be miserable, it's going to be because I chose that, not because you forced it on me. Fuck that shit. I'm responsible for my own life. If my life is going to be happy, it's because I allowed happiness to enter into my life, not because someone else gifted me with happiness. Because someone else gave me permission to be. Fuck that shit. I don't need permission for nothing. Y'all should have known that before you let me into this world. I'm just saying. Hmm. I'm just saying. I'm defiant as fuck. And, if I needed to be born into this world to simply comply, I'm sorry. I need my return trip home. That's not what I'm here for. Nor am I here for failure. I am here to really spark that fire, get it ignited under your ass. And you're either going to rise or your ass going to get burnt. Choice is yours. But yeah, listen to that song by Prodigy, Firestarter. That's the theme of my life. Yeah, in a good way, in a good way. All right, guys, I got to get going. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Yeah, like that shit. Y'all, I got torches everywhere. I'm prepared to light shit. Not real shit, but metaphoric. Bye, everyone.